Om Shanti. Is my audio, video okay? Good. Welcome back again after a few days. And I assume that you all got some chance to reflect upon the learnings from last week. Before we begin for today, let us have a couple of minutes of silence. And during this silence, in your own words, stabilize yourself as a point of light, and also have that link by going to the soul world as a point and experience the presence of eternal Father and get the inheritance of peace, love, purity. Couple of minutes in silence in your own words. We can do it all together. Thank you. So, from the last week that we learned, are there any specific question that you felt you would like to get answer? I take that as a no. Today we will, yes, go ahead, Lisa.
I wanted to ask you, you know how when we were talking about the mind, the intellect, and the sanskars, I wanted to ask you, where are the emotions in those? Is that in the sanskars or um, is that in the sanskars, the emotions?
Every thought has feeling, emotions, and which influences our attitude, and attitude influences our vibrations, and that vibration influences our actions to be performed at a physical level. So it is a combination of thoughts, the intensity of the thought. And if the thought is a good thought, you have a good feeling. If the intensity of the thought is of a negative vibe, then it can influence the emotions, and you can feel it in the body, and you can also feel it in your intellect, and it same thing will get passed on to the sanskars too. It's a flow. So the key thing is to check our quality of thoughts. If it has got a negative influence on it, emotions also will be associated. Every single thought has a feeling association or an emotion associated to it. Emotion is typically mentioned when there is negative thoughts. Feelings are more positive. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else? Okay, that's fine. Now we will explore a new concepts today. And last Friday we learned about the three worlds. The physical world, the angelic world, and the soul world. Today we are going to explore on the law of karma or karma philosophy. It is a very interesting concept, and the more deeper we understand it, it becomes clear of how individuals behave and what should be my take on that. It will give a lot of clarity once we understand the depth of the karma. In simple words, karma is like the Newton's third law. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. If I take a pen and throw it up, it comes back. Similarly, if I give out happiness or put out happiness, happiness comes back to me. If I put out sorrow, I will get it back. It is a very simple concept. So it is essential to know how it impacts our lives. As I mentioned earlier, and we are aware now, that soul comes from soul world. The home of souls is not earth. The home of souls is soul world, which is also called incorporeal world, where there are no actions. Their souls hang in there. There is no sound, no movements. Souls just hang in there. In the angelic world, there is body of light, like an angel. There is no sound, movements are there. And when we come to the earth, here there is action. You have sound, you have movements, and everything is physical here. Yeah. So when the soul comes and gets a body, that is when the action starts. And when the soul comes here, souls are governed by what is known as law of karma. So souls are responsible for their own actions. As I mentioned earlier, you do good, good comes back to you. You do bad, bad comes back to you. Right? So the moment I understand this, that soul and body, when they come together, there is an agreement with the soul and body, because body belongs to matter, body does not belong to the soul. So soul has to take the body on loan. In other words, earth is there, and out of the five elements the body construct happens. And just like how we have in the physical world, you are driving, and you you jump a signal light, red light, you jump and you get a ticket. Likewise, when the soul abuses or misuses the body, in other words action, then soul gets penalized. Uh, Nothing is free. Good concept to understand, through which we become aware of our own actions. Actions are performed at our thoughts, words, and deeds. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up a slide, and I will ask you all to reflect upon the good that you get out of this relation and the not so good that you get out of these relations. See, this is me, the soul. And we have our family with whom we have interactions, our relationships. Right? So just think all the good things that you have in this relation and all the not good things that you have in this relation. Your parents, your spouse, your children, your extended family. Now let us move to the second category, work. We work with a lot of people. When we start our work, we have some people that we work closely. When we change jobs, we have newer people that we work with. Sometimes we have good relation. Sometimes we get along very well with some people. Other times we don't. Next, look at all the friend circles that you have relationship. Relationship meaning actions that you perform through your thoughts, words, action. And you get different friends at different ages. And you also know some friends whom you feel very close. After a while, the relation can get strained for whatever the reason it is. Then the community, the place where we live, the neighbors that we interact with, the social gatherings we go to, the sacred places that we go when we meet new people. We also communicate with nature, whether you are with the beach or when you do a trekking, just be with nature in the forest. How you feel when you are in a certain place where nobody is there, but you just spend time with nature on a day when it is raining, or a day when it is too hot, or days when it is spring, flowers blossom. And to varying degrees, we also bring in God in our own capacity, with our own understanding, and we communicate or perform actions. Looking at all of these relations, and you may have many more too, but just to for our understanding, we have this. If you can think of a time where you had some good thoughts and you immediately got the result of your good thought. At the same time, you can also think of thoughts that were not good and how you felt for those actions that you might have done. If anybody has experience of what I just said. If you want to share, you're most welcome. Yes, go ahead, Raj.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I wanted to ask, how would we decide that this is a good thought or is a bad thought? A lie could be life-saving, it could be a good thought, but a lie could be a really lie. So that decides our karma. So how we distinguish between these things?
When you have thoughts, normally the original qualities or original nature of soul is that of peace, love, happiness, bliss. Right? When you have this understanding, and with your intention being good, then you will not feel guilty of your action. To just kind of give an example on what I meant is our karma is built not just by the action, but by the intention of the action. I'll give an example. A murderer, you know, uses a knife to take a life away. But a surgeon uses the same knife to save a life. Both of them do the same act of cutting through the flesh, but one saves life, but the other takes the life away. So, intention of our action is what adds up into our good karma or not good karma. I may speak all sweet things, nice things, but deep inside, I know what I am doing. Yeah? So, law of karma is very beautifully designed. I may trick many people, I can manipulate, but soul is always bound by the law of karma, and it is not designed by human souls. It is law of karma. Just like how we have the law of nature. When you plant a seed in the soil, you add water, sunlight, air, oxygen, the seed sprouts. It becomes a plant. And you take care of it, few years, it becomes tree. That's law of nature. Our body, we were once upon a time small baby. We had this food, water, shelter, the sun, air, all the five elements, and the body becomes big. This is law of nature. Likewise, law of karma is for soul. I cannot tell lies in the law of karma. It will get recorded as is. And souls have to pay the price for their actions. I hope it clarified.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good example. Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else?
I had a question.
Sure.
Not so. sometimes, especially in corporate world, right, a lot of things are not in your hand, and you have to make decisions which not necessarily you agree to, right? In this case, like, see, the law of karma is still going to apply, and that's what I'm assuming, right? So
Yeah,
how do you do the right thing, and if you don't have the control?
correct. Good question. And remember that we are going through the foundation of Raj Yoga meditation course. And here we are learning the concepts. Okay. And these concepts have been provided by Prajapita Brahma through the mouthpiece of Prajapita Brahma. And Supreme Soul has imparted this knowledge. Okay. And God is also called the purifier. He is the one who purifies the impure. Human souls have become impure. In order to purify, He will give spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding, which when one starts to practice and put that in day to day life activities, instructions or knowledge from the Supreme is to perform pure actions, good actions, and through that, the negative actions will, will be known very clearly. In other words, all of our actions, if it is based from the energy of peace, love, purity, happiness, with all the divine qualities that come along with that, whether it is compassion, benevolence, mercy, caring, all of this. And he has also teaches us that the negative energy of anger, ego, greed, attachment, lust, they are all of the negative force. If my thoughts, words, and actions are influenced of that energy, that is not a good action. In other words, if you are operating from a soul conscious perspective, assuming that soul was peaceful, loving, happy, pure, then you will always perform positive, good actions. Whether it is corporate world or personal life, doesn't matter. Yeah. So this soul has this, you know, gets this piece of body made out of matter. And as I said, this body belongs to the matter. Soul is not the owner of this body. Soul is on a journey. Soul gets this body construct through which it can perform actions. And in the next concept, too, we will know how and what time we are in, and what time we are going through, and what should be our activities and actions, so that we do our actions with lot more awareness. Because once you are aware of the consequences, then you become aware. Any other questions on this? Okay, now I would like to move on to the next concept. And this concept is about reincarnation. We believe in reincarnation. And if I look at this picture, see, souls, when they come from the soul world, they enter mother's womb. And it comes out as a baby and goes through the childhood phase, youth, adult, and goes into old age. If you look at from the womb till the old age, soul is the same. It is the same soul. Because of law of nature, the body becomes bigger, but soul remains a point of light. At the old age, soul leaves the body. You see here, it's a dead body. Soul, when it leaves the body, it goes and takes a mother's womb in a different place, different location, different family, and there it gets a new birth with new family. The key thing to note here is souls, we know, have mind, intellect, and sanskars or impressions. Whatever the soul performed in the last birth, good and bad actions through thoughts, words, and action, they get recorded as impressions. And when it leaves the body, it carries that summary of good and bad into the next birth. Even though when the baby is born, it might have the physical look and feel of mom and dad genetically, but soul comes with its own baggage or its own package based on what it had performed, good and bad. As I said, law of karma keeps track. It is like your social security number. Each one of us have our social number, and everything is tracked through that. Soul's journey is law of karma. I may go in one family, I will have childhood friends. At each age group, I may have different set of people coming in my life. I may have my own family, my own transactions with them. Everything is recorded in the soul, and soul moves from one to another. With this, it gives clarity that you might see some people have some medical conditions, some people have some relationship issues, some people have financial issues, some people are very happy, good health, wealth, relationship. Nobody sits and decides in which family a soul has to be born. Soul creates its own future. If you all take a snapshot of your own self as of now, whether in terms of your relationship with your family, others, your financial situation, your body situation, it is all because of what was done in the past. Thereby, it becomes very fair that I will stop blaming, criticizing, judging others, that because of this individual, my life was like this. This person did certain things in my life, and that's why I've been like this. So I will not take that route anymore with this law of karma and reincarnation. If I want my tomorrow to be good, my future to be good, I need to perform good actions now. Souls, again, are bound by law of karma. I give out good, good comes back to me. I give out bad, bad definitely comes back to me. Which is an eye opening for me when I heard this. I used to go through some health issues at that time and blaming this one, that one. And then I got to know this, and it made so much sense to me. Even though I didn't know what my past was, I may remember in this life what all things I did, whether good or bad. But I didn't know what was of my previous. Then I got to understand that each of our journey on this earth is like a book. In a book, we have several chapters. Each chapter corresponds to one life, from birth till this death. We do so many things in that one chapter. With this, it gave me clarity that some people do certain bad things, and then how come their life is so good, so rosy? We often tell that. But what I'm literally doing is I'm looking at one chapter in a book, or even one small paragraph within a chapter, and then making judgment on that. Now I get a bigger picture that soul has a different journey than what I had thought. So I am responsible for my own actions. We will know in the next concept tomorrow that the time that we are going through and what to expect and how we can change our own selves for the better so that our future is good. God comes and teaches us to perform good action at this time to make our future better. We all invest in 401ks, and as we keep working, we will not realize soon we get to our retirement age, and slow contribution of our savings into that will take care of our retirement time expenses. Only God can teach us how to perform elevated actions, what are elevated, what are negative actions at this time. Any questions on the reincarnation?
Why does the soul forget the past?
Why the soul forgets the past? That is the way it is, which we call this as drama. And soul remembers all of this actions that was done of one birth. And if I imagine for a few minutes, if every soul remembers what it had done in the past or whatever the issues it had with many souls, it will come back, and if it remembers, then it will be so chaotic. Instead, what it does is soul takes the good and bad actions as an impression. Sometimes when you do some good actions, you get the reward of it within few hours. Sometimes the reward of it may take few months to get it. Sometimes it may take years for your good action to get the reward. Sometimes it may take few births. So, in other words, your actions of good and not good, it can come as one big chunk or it can come in installments as well. But good and bad goes with the soul. There is no escape. And when we learn this more, appreciate how well this drama is designed. We think we are very smart. We don't know how this world is working. But when we start to get to know this spiritual reality, and if you believe in this, start to practice it, then they all become very real. I don't become good just like that. I want to become good because I've understood the consequences. I'm building my own future tomorrow. Right? If many, that's why very few people change, and very few people will come to accept this and then bring changes in their life. Like 20 years ago, the stock of Google was, I don't know, $25-50 per share. And those who had invested, I don't know, today it is like $3,000 or something per share. And you make so much money. But how many did invest in that? Handful. So we are so caught up in our own journey of body conscious, which the soul, after several iterations, has lost its identity and recognizes itself as body. When one recognizes themselves as body, then negative actions happen. And the negative actions are recorded in the soul, not in the body. We are going through the COVID situation. Who is infected of the COVID? Is it the body or the soul?
Body.
Body is infected, not the soul. But soul suffers. Soul experiences sorrow. And what is sorrow? Sorrow means any type of suffering, pain, anxiety, fear, doubt. They're all sorrow. It is the soul that experiences sorrow through the physical body. Body will not experience that. Body is an instrument. So our journey is to separate, to consider myself that I am a soul. When I get all of this reality, all of this understanding, I need to bring some changes in my life. The way I look at things, the way I hear things, the way I speak things, the way I perform actions has to become more spiritual. Body is a vehicle to perform actions, but it is the soul that performs actions. And soul is responsible for the actions. Yes, Raj, you had a question?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why we say that fear, anxiety, sadness is the state of mind or state of soul, because that state can be changed. That's how I see it. So it definitely makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, thank you. Anybody else?
So the soul doesn't understand the karmic accounts from the past.
Yeah, from the past, now we have the knowledge, and only when the Supreme Soul descends and gives us this understanding, then only we become aware. Because as human souls, every human soul, they take birth, like mother's womb, baby, adult, and they live. And then generations and generations come and do the same thing. Right? So once you are done with one birth, you don't really remember which location you lived, who are your parents, who was your spouse, who are your kids, what kind of job you were doing. You don't know. But soul do carry the summary of your actions, good and bad. It does carry that summary. And that is the reason you will see some people have medical conditions when they were born, or they have serious health issues or financial problem, or always relationships, fighting and quarreling. All of this doesn't happen automatically. Then we understand souls are going through of whatever the actions that was performed in the past. And now is the time for me to show compassion, to be more loving. When I understand this reality, I become compassionate to others. I love them from my heart, not from my intellect. Because I understand if somebody is suffering, oh, they did this, there, let them suffer. No. My my thinking changes now because I got clarity. I am knowledgeful. I am wise. When somebody, whatever we have accumulated in our life, wealth, the day the soul leaves the body, everything, the soul doesn't take any of the physical thing, none, zero. One might have got so several properties worth billions, billions, whatever. When the soul leaves the body, it doesn't take nothing of the physical, including the body. It will shed the body and move on, but it will carry the good and bad actions it has performed.
So there is a time between the soul leaves the body and the soul enters the newborn, like in the womb.
Mhm.
So there must be a time gap, or it just leaves the body and enters into another one right away.
Yeah, I mean, soul, is a tiny point of light, and it is an energy, right? And then it once it done, there could be some couple of weeks or few weeks of transition period before it gets into a womb. When the body is kind of shaped, I think in the fourth or the fifth month in the womb, and that's when it enters there. And then, during that period there, it doesn't remember. Because it cannot speak. The baby cannot speak once it is out. It takes some time when the organs develop, and that's when it starts to recognize the new mom, dad, and new circle of people, new lifestyle. But it does carry its old, you know, sanskars with it, which we don't know. It could be, from one birth. It could be from several births. It carries on, takes it with it. Yeah, interesting, right? And if there are no other question, I will want to introduce one more concept. Um,
I have a silly
yeah,
question.
sure,
You
Sheila.
hear about like 9 lives of the cats, or for human, like in Indian culture, we say 7 lives, Sato Janam, right? Like you're going to be together with the same people or a spouse, especially, they say Sato Janam, right?
Hmm.
Now, is there any truth to it, any weight to it, or is this just all, you know, stories?
I mean, I don't know honestly whether it is really truth or not, but this clarity gives me a different perspective, and
Exactly. Okay.
so I will not invest my time too much into
Okay.
thinking of that because it doesn't do any good for me. Even
Okay.
though somebody seems to be my wife or husband for 7 births, how does
Yes.
it help me today? Right.
Right. Right.
So I am
Okay.
worried about how do I pay my whatever the expenses, and how do I get my paycheck, and now I'm worried in these things. Right.
No, it was just that's why I say it was a silly question. I knew it was not appropriate for this what we're talking about, but the thought came across, so I just
Sure, no
wanted
worries.
to clarify. Yes. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
I think it's just a way of expression towards the spouse that, okay, I want to, that how much the person loves the spouse. I think that's what
Yeah,
it is.
sure. I mean, if you have been having a loving spouse for 6, 7 births, then you carry the same loving in the present life too, and you will share the same thing, right? So some people, you will see some small children, they're expert in good singing or in instruments because they carry that kind of activities they have done in their past, and they exhibit at a very young age. It's a proof
Yeah.
that way.
Yes. Yes.
Some people are very good business people because they have done excellent business in their past births, and they know. And some people are working hard to be great businessmen, they never succeed. So, I mean, we see all of these things, right? Through that, we understand.
Mohan Bhai, I have another question. Let's say in in our intention, let's say in the past, I did something bad, and that is added to a bad karma. Even my intentions were maybe bad at that time. Can we like fix that karma in the same life, or it has to go with us to the next life? Or like how it is going to work in that
You
situation?
said, right? All our actions are packaged as part of the sanskar, good and bad. Okay, and they can play out in one go, or they can play out in installments. Sometimes, when you do some good actions, you will see the fruit immediately. Sometimes you do good action, it may get the result after a few months or sometimes some years. So we don't know how this works, but every soul has its own account, karmic account. And now the time that we are going through, tomorrow I'm going to explain, is a time of settlement. And no, that's why you will see a lot of problems in the world. Okay? So I don't want to scare much on that, but good to be aware of these things. And then if there are no questions, I want to share one more concept. In here, souls and matter, they kind of work together. Okay, souls cannot do anything without a body. Souls need a body to perform actions. And then we have our story meaning, birth after birth, we constantly interact with matter, we get a new body, new set of people, and we perform a lot of actions, and all of these are stored in the soul. So basically, souls get matter, body, and that is how our actions, karmic accounts gets built up through this story. It could be several births. And now, with this understanding, and we will get to know more about it, when we start to engage this loving communion with the Supreme, who gives us this knowledge of how this is designed, then we get the strength, understanding to perform elevated, positive actions no matter what. Always, no matter if somebody is doing something harming for us, not good, but if I do good actions, it will never go waste. Not possible. Same thing goes if I do wrong actions, even that will not go waste. I have to pay the price. Both ways. So that's why the time that we have or in now is to build this relation with the Supreme and also make our lives such that our thoughts, words, and actions are based on the original qualities of the soul, which are peace, love, purity, power, bliss, truth, happiness, and to consider oneself to be a soul, not a body. Body is an instrument. I take care of the body like a trustee, not to have too much attachment to the body because it is not mine. Okay, any other questions on these things that we discussed today?
I I want to ask you is do you think sometimes like disease or health issues can that be like sometime a settlement for karma?
Yes, this the present time that we are going through is known as settlement of karma. Settlement. That's the reason you can see the if you look like 80 100 years ago, people used to be very healthy those days, and now the as I mentioned, the population has increased in the last 200 years. 1.52 million to 7.5 or 8 million. So the quality of the construct of the body has also deteriorated. Souls, have to pay the settlement with the body that they get today. And so, with awareness, if you settle it, you know that I have done something wrong, and then I don't suffer too much. But if I don't understand this, then I suffer a lot. When I know that it is my creation, my responsibility, then I don't blame anybody. But if I am not aware of it, then I take the route of blaming this one, that one, the other one. That way, I am suffering myself and I'm also passing on not a good vibrations or thoughts to others. Did it answer to you, Lisa?
Yeah, I had heard that before,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just checking if that if you thought that was true, but that makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mhm. All right. So then,
One quick question.
yes.
So currently, I mean, yes, a lot of bad karmas over so many centuries and everything. Uh, but the entire world right now, rich, poor, east, west, north, south, everybody's suffering from this uh, pandemic, the effects of the pandemic so is that an accumulative thing of what other souls have done for, like good karmas and bad? I mean, it's an accumulative effect then?
Yeah, even if you look at this COVID thing, right? I mean, even though the world population is what 7.5 or 8 billion, How many have got COVID infections? 1%? Not even 1%.
Hmm.
Right? But it has created a scare in everybody.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the scare was there initially, but now human souls are very powerful species and
Uh-huh.
overcame that fear. And now you'll see a lot more people out, driving and doing their stuff. Yeah.
True.
And then when I cover the topic tomorrow about the cycle, you will get more clarity of how everybody is getting involved in whatever is happening in the world. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Yes. Okay. Sure.
Now let us have some meditation practice of what we learned today. I am going to play some music in the background and then I'll guide with the commentary, and you can all be in that journey. As you sit comfortable, bringing your attention focus to the center of your forehead. I am a point of eternal light. I am a peaceful soul. I have come onto this earth on a journey I have my own book of several chapters, each chapter corresponding to a birth. I visualize my journey from being a baby, my childhood, my youth, adult. I've been with many people. I've had a lot of exchanges. Now I've got an understanding that whatever I am today is because of my own actions. I have performed actions through my mind, through words, through deeds. Whatever I have done in the past I realize I cannot change anything. But now I have an opportunity to shape and build a beautiful future. I change my own thoughts, my words, my actions by using my original qualities of peace, of love, of purity. And to do this, I travel to my eternal home in a second. Golden red color light, supreme abode of peace. I, the point of light. I come in front of my eternal parent, ocean of love, ocean of purity. Who knows my journey? Being in his company, I became detached from my physical body and the drama of my father. He is also my supreme teacher, giving me the understanding of law of karma. I become responsible for my future. I use my mind and intellect to bring in thoughts that is beneficial, that is of solutions. I don't own anything on this earth. I'm learning to respect my own body, and thereby I respect the five elements. Thinking good about myself will help me pass through all difficulties. I realize I have no control of my past, but I have a realization now. As I spend more time with myself, my inner world, working on the self, that I am different from this body, I start to perform actions in a meaningful way. Wherever I use my mind and intellect, I can accomplish whatever I want. If I want to claim or grow higher position in a corporate ladder, I can end up spending 14, 16, 18 hours a day. Or whatever the profession, whatever I like, I might invest my time in that. If I'm able to take few minutes, 1 hour daily for my own spiritual investment, it is like protecting my future, strengthening my future, giving me guidance of making the right choices, the right decisions. The more I become internalized, my wants become less. I will have a deeper sense of disinterest in things that I am not interested. I will get whatever that is needed for me. I am not greedy of anything. I have everything that I need to lead a happy life. I am in the process of healing all of my relationship with the family, at my workplace, with my friends, with nature. I learned to say thank you for what life has offered me, which is my own creation. While sitting in the soul world, I am radiating godly qualities. Staying in the silence makes my mind calm. With a calm mind, I can make the right decisions. With a calm mind, I can see things very clearly. I am able to hold my thought, concentrate myself to be at my home with my eternal parent, Baba. I am forgetting this old world. I have a new life. I get all answers in this silence. Sometimes to be in silence feels like golden. Enjoying this silence. I gently come back into this physical world. I come into this body. I gently open my eyes. Thank you all.